artwork depicts a cavern along the crags of the seashore. At the rearmost point plays a beautiful fountain, its jets and sprays illuminated by multicolored electric lights, now burning brightly, now dim, almost to darkness. Back of this cave are shown in the moist walls of solid rock, and the floor strewn with fragments of the walls of the shells. This guy was a promoter. Listen to this. The prettiest feature is a disappearing disc, about 3 foot in diameter, on which are carried right in the midst of the torrent of water pouring from the fountain. Samples of 6 different styles of shoes carried by the furrow. In the center of the disc is the trademark of the well-known Hannah Shoe Company. The lady's face profiled within the crest. I just wish you could see that right now. That's really neat. Okay, 1890. We forgot the most important one, the Leon Lowenstein's clothing store display of a mechanical man. This one's got to be read too, folks. It's just, this one here is going to take a lot of imagination, but it's pretty cool. Okay, this was written, the Times Democrat, 1902. We had heard that there was a bust of a mechanical man, but we didn't have anything on him. So this is the story of it, okay? A bust of a man who wears a coat which can be examined through magnifying glasses, held by 2 hands, going up and down like this, so they could see the material. Okay. Now, instead of the head, there's a copper orb, or as they call it, old soul, which they call the sun. And circling around that, in elliptical order, was the planet Venus. Not making it up, it's written right there, okay?
Why wouldn't it?
Also past that, on a wire, going around the orb, was an Earth that turned 1 revolution every minute. Around that Earth was a moon that turned around. Okay, so that's going up here. Also, on both sides, there were 2 carousels that went around in a circle that held clothes so you could look at them, okay? And then out of the top of the case, there was a stick with the American flag on it that waved back and forth. It was kind of a wave back and forth. And the neatest part about this, down underneath was a stuffed gopher and a rabbit, and they ran in and out underneath that thing. So, yeah, see, I can't make that stuff up. I'm sorry. That's just some neat stuff. You know, the more you read about this joke, you know, we might have a lot of guys like this back in the time. So Noah's Ark, okay? So this is what you saw today. Minus, you can see where the back panel isn't in there. I think it looks a lot better with that glass in there.
Yeah.
And this is, I think it's before, now we had already purchased the lights for this. This is, this round disc here goes around, and it's a wooden disc. It's called a cam. And on this cam are cam lobes. And they're spaced out where they need to be. It makes 1 revolution in 5 minutes and 10 seconds. This controls all the mechanical stuff, okay? And it kicks the chains in, so when this is going around and it hits one of those lobes, it makes a reaction. So one of those reactions is when it hits a lobe down there. Before the doors open to the cavern, there was a brass rod that goes this way and pushes another rod like this. It pushes that rod this way, which opens the door. That's how things worked in this thing. Okay, this is the top. There's a little wire hanging from this, which the dove is on, okay? And that's what, all this chain, all these sprockets, that's what makes that go around and around and around, okay? Rick and his brother-in-law and Herb, Jim, they worked on this, and Herb, he said he cleaned it from here, but I think he brought this dirty rag from home. I'm not sure. But this is what it looks like after he cleaned that off. And this is what it looked like before. Because brass and steel don't mix. They just keep making dust and dust. So I don't know how long it took him to clean this up here. This is what Paul Meyer saw when he came, and we asked him if he'd be interested in seeing a potash would like to donate some money. This is what sold Paul on this, because this was all built in 1900, okay, and by, Mr. Grosjean. And then this is Rick rewiring the same thing 7 times. So, and it's probably something I rewired 3 times, so we just didn't do it right. And then this is Herb and I, looking at it. We had so much fun doing this. And I think they're going to lock us up if we do another one. So thank you, Mr. Grosjean. Your insight and inspiration will live on for all future generations of Allen County Museum visitors and friends. Thanks for coming, folks.
Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask Mark or the guys all together? There's a question here, Mark.
Yeah.
Was he a taxidermist?
Yes, he was a taxidermist, cabinet maker, embalmer, funeral director. Yeah, he did just about everything. Yeah. Any other questions?
I didn't understand what the report was.
So originally it was electric motor?
Yeah, the motor, that motor and the motor in there are Edison copyright 1898. And it's still operating. Now the other one up there doesn't work anymore. We have both of them in there, so we took one out, and it's still operating. So the motor's over 120 years old.
This runs off the same voltage we have today,
Okay. We tore out all the wiring from 1900, rewired everything, put a PLC in it to run it, to keep everything timed out like it should be. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
The question was, what was it? Is it still the same? Yeah. Yeah. We tore out all the electrical wiring. We cleaned everything. Herb and Rick, you guys come up here so you can talk about this too, because Herb's pretty funny. Yeah, we did a lot of work. I mean, it's just unbelievable how much. If we have a key for this, we're gonna. Rick, do we have a key for this front? Yeah. Can you open that? When he opens this up, before he opens it up, you need to see what's there. There was nothing there except the things down here on the right side. Everything he's going to show you when he drops that front where the speaker is, all that was added. He's going to find where the key is. Any other questions while we're doing that? Yes?
When was the sound added?
Well, okay, the first sound and voice was added in 1967, okay? This one, and Bill told me I was wrong, and then I finally found the information. I'm like, okay, Bill's right. And then in 1991, they sent the cassette tape to California, had the music redone and timed with this, and then Bill Holden is doing the voice on that. A lot of you remember Bill Holden. So when you get a chance to come back up there, look at all this stuff in here. That's all the wiring we put in to time everything, and that's why we cover it up. There's a big one. You had another question.
You kind of asked my question. I was going to ask you when did they put new music in?
Yeah, it was 1991. I don't know if it was the same, but that's when Bill Holden. Yeah.
Could Herb tell us about that beautiful wood in the cabinet?
Oh, yeah. The wood is Honduras mahogany. Another name for it, the natives call it sapele wood. How many of you have ever been to the British Honduras? Belize, Guatemala?
I think you're talking to the wrong crowd.
Yeah. It's the tree when it falls down, lives forever, because insects literally jump away from it. It's filled with an oil, a resin. And it's a select wood that furniture makers use because termites don't affect it. And this is beautiful mahogany. It's got a patina all its own. When I started cleaning it, I wanted a cleaner that would not take that finish and yet strip away as much dirt as possible. But it's just a beautiful cabinet. The sister to this cabinet is in the Noah's Ark room, and it's the one that has the albinos. Okay, so if you look at it without the Noah's Ark sign, you'll notice all this filigree up here, all the details are exactly alike on this one. This one, by the way, has traveled around so much, and it is very heavy. This thing weighs close to a ton. And if you notice these little belly buttons all the way up and down on it, Rick, you know, as you open this up, it's like a time capsule. But Rick got to looking at that, and he said, look at these. Do you know what these are? And I said, no. He said, Herb, those are tie rods. So if you could imagine with a drill of some sort, flexing and drilling clear through the cabinet, and tying that whole thing together, that whole structure together with steel rods. That's what Grosjean did to hold this thing together. It's a brute. I mean, it is heavy. We had to use a pallet carrier to get this in here.